Hello and welcome to the Intro to Electronic Visit Verification, or EVV. We will be covering the following: what is EVV, service verification and approval, scheduling, habilitation goals, contingency plan, and a live demo of the application from a provider view and a designee/guardian view. What is EVV? EVV is short for Electronic Visit Verification. It was enacted in the 21st Century Cures Act in 2016 in order to prevent a reduction in Medicaid fraud. Access is mandated to implement electronic visit verification for non-skilled in-home services. So if you do attended care, habilitation, or respite, you're required to use this service starting January 1st, 2021. This is when all state agencies are required to start this. Again, this is not an Arizona law. This is a federal law. All agencies across the United States are required to use this. Now, Transitions has said that they will begin using EVV 11.1 of this year, so we can get ahead of this and to have the habit of clocking in and clocking out on your smartphone, so that it won't be a surprise come January 1st. Again, after 11.1, we will no longer be accepting paper timesheets. What data is captured to verify services? AutoVisit will capture the following info during a visit: location, the GPS coordinates where services start and stop, time, services performed, who is providing the service, who is approving the service hours. The system will not track you at any time. Now, if you are a caregiver who does services outside of the member's home, example, your home, you will need to get a life and safety inspection before you can perform those services at your own home. If you have any other questions on this, please contact our office for more details. How will services provided be approved by designee? Up until now, a guardian is the one who signs off on your time. They have changed the name from guardian to designee. Designee is an individual who is responsible for verifying hours worked. They must have an email address of their own and access to a mobile device. Now, there are two different types of how services will be provided. By the member. If a member is willing and able to verify services, they may approve the time for their caregiver, but only as a designee. They will need their own email address and access to a mobile device to log in and approve hours. If the member is not willing and able to verify services, a designee needs to be assigned. Now, if you are a parent/guardian who is also a caregiver, you can no longer approve your own time, but can approve the time of other services performed by another caregiver. Now, there can be more than one designee to verify time, but if you are a parent/guardian who is also a caregiver, you will need a secondary email for your designee to be able to approve the time. You will no longer need to print and sign timesheets for submittal. Designees must approve the time within 7 days from the time services were conducted. We are waiting for Access to answer one of our questions, which is if there's only one person in the household to approve time who also happens to a caregiver. If this applies to you, please let us know, and we will keep you posted on this answer. Scheduling. A weekly schedule is required for each service. All caregivers will be required to submit a weekly schedule and any changes to our agency before they happen. More details to come on that process in the upcoming months. This may change for living caregivers. We have submitted questions to Access asking if parents that live with their members are considered living caregivers that are exempt from the scheduling rule. More to come on this. Habilitation goals. E-trials Habilitation goals are called e-trials through AutoVisit. AutoVisit will automatically prompt the caregiver to complete their e-trials before clocking out of habilitation each time the service is performed. More to come on this. We are waiting for Access and AutoVisit to share more information with us. This feature will not be available until later in the fall. Contingency plan. The contingency plan is the member's written backup plan stating their preference when a scheduled visit is missed or late. Within 60 minutes after of the scheduled start time, a visit is reported to the agency and the division as late. Preferences must be noted for each service the agency is providing. The member/responsible persons will determine if they need a replacement caregiver in a certain amount of time and will be reviewed annually with the agency. It is allowable for the member to elect a different action than what was originally documented on the contingency plan. Again, more to come on this. Now, an example of this is if Susie's caregiver does not show up, she has elected that a caregiver must be replaced in 2 hours from the scheduled time. Now, again, she can select something else. She can have services be provided on the next scheduled visit. Again, this is a contingency plan that the family and the support coordinator come up when there is a service being missed or late. Basically a backup plan. Now on to the auto visit demo. Alright, now on to the demo. So the application that we will be using is called AutoVisit. Now AutoVisit can be downloaded from the App Store or your Google Play on your Android. Now, once we open up AutoVisit, you will be greeted by this screen. Now, you will need to know the following: the agency name, the username, and the password. Now, the agency name is Transitions. The username is the email that we have on file that we will be using as your username. And then the password is something that you make up. You will be getting an email from DD Reports to set up an email. Now, this email will be used to log in. I will also be including a AutoVisit handout to so you can refer to this as you log in. So we're going to sign in. Again, I'm signing in as a provider. So once I log in, you should be greeted with this. You are looking at it's saying that I am ready to clock in because it knows that I am at the client's mom's house. Now, before we clock in, I would like to show you a couple things. We're going to go to the menu button on top. Then we're going to go to Clients. Then we're going to select Client. Here we see that all the locations that I can clock in and clock out. This is Danny D's home address, and then these are his other addresses that I can do any service that he is allowed. Now on the bottom is service authorizations. These are his services that he has. He has attended care, HAB, respite, daily rate, and respite. Now it shows the ending date for these offs and how many hours remaining. Now these numbers are in real time, so what you see is what we see. Again, this is his service authorization, so you could keep track of how many hours your client has left. Now we will be clocking in. So we're going to hit clock in. Now, if you have more than one client, you're going to have to select a client. The client selected will always be in yellow. So if you only have one client, you don't need to select a client. Now, starting service, you will select what service you want to work with your client. So I'm going to do attended care. So after that, I'm going to hit start visit. Now it's going to start the visit, and I am good to go. I am just going to close out of the application and go work attended care with my client. Again, the time has to be 15 minutes to be able to record your time. So once I am ready to clock out, I just open the application again. And I'm going to hit clock out. Well, I'm going to wait to hit clock out till the 15-minute. There are other sections of the application that I would like to go over with you. So the next section is the dashboard. This is the employee dashboard where you will see the following things. The Guardian electronic signature. It shows that there are two signatures still in the system that need to be approved by the Guardian / designee. There's also a section for assigned tasks, tasks that we can perform, that we can give you guys to do, like a task to do the CPR, or we need a copy of your fingerprint card. Once you see that, you can just select it after you're done, and it shows us that you completed it, and we double check that you have sent that information to us. Oh, apologies. The next section is certifications. This is where you can see all your certifications. Again, everyone is different. Everyone has different certifications. As you can see, there's different colors on here. There's actually 3 different colors. There's red, yellow, and a light blue. Red means it is expiring in a month or has already expired. As you can see, the CPR has already expired. Yellow means it is expiring in 2 months. And light blue means it is expiring in 3 months. Again, this is where you can see your certifications and keep up to date. The schedule part, this is where the schedule comes into play when we figure out the scheduling for what you are going to work with your client. Next section is the time card. This is where you can see all the time that you have worked in the current pay period with your client. As you can see, I worked a couple hours yesterday with this client. And you can always switch to the last pay period to see what else you worked with. As you can see, I worked in last month. Then the next section will be the messaging app. This is where we in the office can send you a message through the application. As you can see, September has a couple messages about my CPR that needs to be renewed. And then as well as Emily asking me to submit my goals for the month. So we can always communicate, and Dawn will actually start sending out payday reminders through the application for anyone who's already starting auto visit. But after 11/1, the payday reminders will be sent in through the application. That is everything for the provider side. So I'm going to clock out. And it's asking me if I want to clock out. It gives me a visit summary with the client's name, what time and what service, and it's asking me if I want to complete this, and I'm going to say yes. saving it. And now I am ready to start a different service, or if you're done, you can just close out of the application. So now I am going to go into what the guardian sees. So give me a moment. I'm going to need to sign out. So again, the designee will need their own email address, and it's still going to be Transitions as the agency name, their email that they want us to use, and then a password. And then sign in. Oh, credentials are wrong. All right, so once the Guardians logs in, they will see all the times that need to be approved. As you can see, there's 3 hours that the designee needs to approve. Now, what I have been telling others in this class is I would at least have the designee go in every Friday to approve time so they don't forget, because they only have 7 days from once this service is provided to approve it. So if you go in every Friday, you won't go past those 7 days, because if they do go past those 7 days, we need to file an exception form, which means we have to request to the state to pay this, and we have to write the reason that the designee did not approve this time. So again, it is important that the designee goes in there at least once a week to approve this time. So I'm going to approve all, and then I am going to e-sign. It's going to say that I agree that the select services were delivered, and I'm going to do yes. And then it's going to ask me, would you like an electronic copy of this agreement? So I'm going to hit yes. And then it is going to email me a copy of this form. So I am going to open up the designee's email and show you guys this right now. Now, after I logged in to the provider's email, the Guardian / designee's email, here is the electronic sign services time card. It will be from DD Reports. It says attached is a copy you requested of your recently electronic signed document for services rendered. It is in a PDF. I click to open it, downloads, open it back up. And here it will show you the services that were performed. It shows you by date, the start time, end time, what service was provided, who provided it, the hours, and where and when the designee / guardian signed it, and then there's an electronic signature. Now, the designee does not need to have this sent to them all the time, but if they want to, they can. Again, they do not need to send this in to us. It is for their records. You do not need to send in a timesheet. On our end, we already see that this has been approved by the designee and it is ready to go. All right. Again, you do not need to send this in or print it out. Now, this concludes the intro video to EVV. Again, this is not going to be the only training that we will be having. Again, we are going to be starting, all providers will need to start using AutoVisit starting 11/1. No paper timesheets will be accepted when come timesheet day on, what day is it? On 11/16, you must be using AutoVisit starting Sunday 11/1. Again, thank you for watching this. And again, if you have any other questions, please email me back. My email is mikhail@transitionsaz.org, or call the office and we will gladly help you through this process. Again, we are here to help you. Thank you and have a good day.